Welcome back to this week's episode of Monday Mobility. So in this week, we are going to go through ankle mobility, and I'm going to take you through a quick ankle mobility test for you to see whether or not you have good or poor ankle mobility. So first thing I'm going to ask you to do is take your shoes off, okay? Now, the reason we have a wall is because that's what we're going to use to help us show or see if we have good or poor ankle mobility. What I want you to do is basically take your thumb and finger, and we're going to use that as a guide, okay? So I'm going to put my thumb and finger against the wall, and that's the distance we're going to be away from the wall when we put our toe there. If you do have a ruler, then you basically are going to go 5 inches. This is a 5-inch test, and thumb and finger is a pretty good way to kind of replicate that if you don't have a tape measure. What we're going to do is we're going to be driving our knee over our toes, and we want to try and keep our heels on the ground when we do this. So we're going to drive our knee over our toes, and we're going to see how far we can get towards the wall. Should be able to touch the wall, that's the goal anyway, while keeping your heel on the ground. That's the 5-inch mobility test that we are doing. Now, as you can see, you may not be able to, but I'm about an inch away from the wall, and my heel is slightly raised here. So on my foot here, not there, here. You can come back out and go back into it. So this itself can be a ankle mobility drill that you could maybe do on your own, maybe do before you squat or anything like that. I'm gonna swap legs and do the same on that leg. Again, thumb and finger away, drive my knee over my toes, keep my heel on the ground at all times, so make sure your heel's forced into the ground. So when you drive your knee over, you don't want your hip to pop out to the side here. You want to still be in line when you do this. So maybe take this knee a bit further to the left when you do it to drive over. We don't want to see that. So we don't want to see our hips popping out to the side. We want to be nice and in line when we do this. If you have poor ankle mobility and you're quite far away from the wall, then you can do that drill. I call it the 3 to 5 rule. So 3 to 5 times on each side, and you hold for 3 to 5 seconds. And that's basically just as a good rule for you to follow. So 3 to 5, 3 to 5. And driving your knee over your toes, keeping your heel on the ground, hold for 3 to 5 seconds, come back out, okay? That's what I'd like you to follow. So that is the 5-inch ankle mobility test. My name's Charlie. Thank you very much for tuning in, and we will see you on the next one.